Oh. Oh. And that, children, is why I think CJ is better than Will Ramos. Nerds and reaction people, because you guys like to join in on the action as well, it would seem. This is another Gently Nerdy reaction. We are reacting to a band called Befouled Tongue. The name of the song is Between the Realms, I believe is what, yes, Between the Realms. It is an old song in the terms of modern music. It's been out for a whole year or so. So why the hell are we doing a reaction video to a song that's been out this long in a genre that, generally speaking, I like? It's probably going to be not a whole lot of criticism. It's because the guest vocalist on this is a man by the name of CJ McReery. For those that don't know, CJ, actually, before we do that, I got new graphics. Oh, check out the graphics. History. All right. My history with this blackened death. Oh, no, I guess it's just deathcore. Lorna Shore is blackened deathcore. Befouled Tongue. My history with Befouled Tongue. I honestly didn't really know this was a band until fairly recently because I watched a video analysis-ish about the most down-tuned guitar or most down-tuned bands in heavy music, and Befouled Tongue had a couple of songs on there. I think they were like one of the bottom three or top three, depending on how you look at it, bands that tuned stupid low for certain songs. This is not one of those songs, I don't believe. They do tune very, very low because that is the genre trope, but this is not an exceptionally low by those standards tuned song. So that's kind of my exposure to this band. I know they're deathcore. I know they are fairly decent enough to have a bit of a name in the genre, but that's about all I know about them. CJ McReery, on the other hand, I know a little bit more. CJ used to sing for a band that you might know called Lorna Shore. He got Me Too'd, got fired. Maybe there was some legitimacy to the Me Too action that he picked up, but yeah, he got fired and then is kind of like still in this weird limbo state. He had a band called Immortal Domination. It's an ID, Immortal Damnation Dominion. No, Immortal Dominion is a different band. Immortal something. It starts with a D. And they were going to be releasing a new record soon, but then apparently CJ is very difficult to work with. So now that Immortal Domination, that's what it was. Now that Immortal Domination record is not going to be released, it would seem. I think CJ still owns the Immortal Domination name, so the band maybe will eventually do something if he can learn how to work with other people. So we gotta talk a little bit of controversy real quick. Not the controversy that got him fired from Lorna Shore. Not gonna touch that one with a 10-foot pole, but I'm going to make a controversial statement, and that controversial statement is I think CJ McReery is a better vocalist than Will Ramos. Now, let me attach a very large caveat to the side of that statement and saying that he's not as varied as Will. I think more specifically, the statement should be, I think CJ McReery is better at the things he does vocally than Will is. I think overall, Will is a much more well-versed vocalist, which is a weird thing to say. Weird words all at once. I think Will has a much more broad understanding of the instrument that is his voice than CJ does. I think CJ has 3 tricks, vocally speaking, and he's just better at those 3 things than Will is. He has better gutturals, he has better black metal highs, and then his vocal fry is a little bit more pronounced, a little bit more audible than Will's. I think Will has many more tricks up his sleeve. I think Will is incredibly talented, so I'm not necessarily throwing shade. I just think CJ does a couple of things better than Will. So, all of that is to say, that is my history with the 2 entities at large here. So, let's talk a little bit about expectations. I am expecting this to be black metal or blackened deathcore. Woof. All these stupid subgenres. I'm expecting this to do the thing, to be very heavy, to be down-tuned. I'm expecting CJ's vocals to be the exceptional part of this. While Befouled Tongue is popular enough to have a bit of a following, I don't necessarily think they are a standout band when it comes to the subgenre of deathcore. They are not Lorna Shore. They are not Slaughter to Prevail. They are not Sign of the Swarm. They are not Chelsea Grin. They are just kind of towards the middle of the pack. Nothing wrong with that. Still plenty of music to be enjoyed. Just, nothing really to write home about. So those are my expectations for this music video, song, and stuff. So let's talk about the disclaimer, shall we? We always like to preface, or these videos, I always like to preface these videos with a little bit of a disclaimer, because it seems that people like to question, well, who are you to analyze this music or to make these judgments or to say these things about this music? I am a musician. I am also a producer. I write music. I perform music. I record music. For myself and for other people. I get paid to do this from time to time. When work is good, or when business is good, I get paid not an uncomfortable amount of money to do this. So I've done it once or twice. I've been doing it for a while, about 20 years to some degree. I've been a professional in the music industry. I've been singing since even longer than that, because I'm much older than 20 years old, but that's not for you to know. That's the kind of conversation I like to have when it comes to music. I like to get into the analysis. I like to talk about the things that make music really interesting, and things that differentiate bands from other bands, and just all of this kind of stuff. That's the conversation we're here to have. We're also here to have fun. We're here to learn maybe a thing or two and enjoy ourselves. So keep these things in mind in the comment section, because you're not going to get a gotcha moment. You're not going to make me feel bad about myself because you're so much more virtuous than I am, or because you know more about this one very obscure thing than I do. I don't care. If you want to have a fun, engaging conversation, we'll do it. If you want to be here and be a prick, that's on you. That being said, let's talk about the music and listen to the song and do all of the things that we came here to do. Wait, that audio is not being routed correctly. Please hold. There we go. Okay, let's start that over, shall we? Lo siento. So somebody in the comments section of one of my other videos, I think it was one of the shorts where we were talking about bands and black metal and death metal and that kind of stuff, said that they used to be really into aggressive music, but it's kind of cringy how seriously a lot of the bands take themselves. And I'm gonna point you in the direction of Exhibit A. Oh, I just had it. Exhibit A. That is far too serious to be taking. Maybe he thinks it's funny. Maybe it's not him taking this seriously, but yeah, this is why I agree with that comment that was left on that other video. I like this guy's vocal performance. This is really well done. The mix is pretty good. I think we've got a couple of issues when we get towards the bottom end, but generally speaking, that's my critique of most aggressive music, is the bottom end just never fills out like it should, largely because of rock bass syndrome, because bass players tend to play just, the root note of the chord, or producers, the other version of rock bass syndrome, producers just don't know how to mix aggressive bass when it's done appropriately. Or even at all in the case of this, because there's barely any bottom end to any of this. Like, you've got a kick drum, you've got the chunky guitar, and I'm not hearing much of the bass really at all. You've got a little bit of the round tone that you get from a bass, but even that's not solid like it should be. So we've got some rock bass syndrome going crazy. Oh, and I'm in the wrong window. Push and play. He's got really good enunciation. Also, that is a 7-string in deathcore. That's unheard of. He doesn't have enough strings on that guitar. Oh no, the devil's gonna come and take him away. I got nothing. Yeah, 7-string instead of an 8-string. Go figure. But this vocalist has some really great enunciation. His gutturals are not quite as brutal as like a Will Ramos, but I think he's got a little bit more clarity than Will Ramos. I think CJ's going to kind of show him how it's done. It's just my assumptions. That was cool. He's got that whatever you call the goblin voice is what I've heard it referred to as more colloquially recently. That goblin. That I'm right here. That voice right there. This kid's got a pretty decent little goblin voice going on. Which I don't know that really CJ can do, so that's interesting. Oops, I paused the wrong thing, I think. Let's let that one go. Let's let this one pause. Okay, good. All right, let's continue on, shall we? Ooh. That was pretty impressive. That, like, he hadn't really shown that kind of bottom end in his voice until that little breakdown bridge right there. Let's go back to that. I went too far. All right, so from a video production standpoint, ooh, really good shot of that dude's chest piece. From a video production standpoint, what the hell is the point of the shots of him standing behind the fire in the forest? None of the rest of this is even kind of related to that kind of imagery, so that just seems super out of place. Otherwise, I'm digging this. This is a lot of fun. Right there. All right, so a little bit of production notes. I think it's interesting that there so far seems to be just one primary vocal track. We've talked about this previously, that the vocal tracks in modern extreme forms of music, generally you do multiple vocal tracks for the primary vocal performance. You get kind of a layering thing. You'll do different variations of the style of scream, or you'll do like an accented one that's a little bit heavier on the bottom tones, one that's a little bit heavier on the higher tones, and then the actual primary tones of the vocal performance just kind of thickens up the sound and makes a lot more texture to the voice. That's not what they did here. This is a single vocal track. There seems to be a couple of insert tracks, accents from time to time, but primarily this is a single vocal track, and I think that's a very interesting approach to modern extreme music. Continuing on. Yeah, there he is. That's the dude. And that, children, is why I think CJ is better than Will Ramos at these things. But wow, you get so much vocal clarity in the bottom end of his voice that you just don't get from Will. Will can do those low gutturals, but they're very muddy. And apparently he does have the goblin voice thing. We didn't really get the black screams, but we got the goblin voice stuff, which is, he's all right. I feel like that's, maybe Will would be better at that side of it, but damn, those gutturals. CJ is just that guy. We are going back to that. Oh my God. just like, that is why I dig this genre of music so much, because that is just like, I wish I was at a concert, because that just makes me want to jump in the pit so hard. Oh, I am 40 damn years old, and that just makes me want to punch things in the most healthy way possible. Oh, that's I need to take a nap. That was great. Oh, and now they're both going at it. Yeah, that was it. Okay. Oh. The outro there too, just the chaos and the cacophony and the when you really dig into listening to it, you can hear the bass in the bottom end at this part. I couldn't really pick it out much until this ending outro, but it's there. It sounds like a couple of times he's even potentially hitting like some sort of like power chord or something, or maybe just the dyad third, but it's there. I just this is not a genre that bass players generally get super experimental. Again, unless you're Job for a Cowboy. This is I'm going to be listening to more Befouled Tongue, I think. That was great stuff. Wow. Wow. Okay. That's the good stuff. Final thought. I think I've already shown my hand a little bit too much on this one. This is good shit. This is wow. That is some quality deathcore right there. I wish CJ wasn't such a piece of shit. Not even just because of the controversy that got him Me Too'd and whatever, but like, I mean, because that's, again, we're not going to get into that. But him being so difficult to work with means that we don't get much of the music that he could be producing, because those vocals, I think he stands to potentially be one of the best vocalists of the genre. Like, this kid is super damn talented, but he just is an asshole. So yeah, would I recommend this song? For sure. Would I recommend this genre? Well, duh. Am I going to be listening to more Befouled Tongue? Very probable. I'm gonna probably go get a record or two of theirs just as soon as I've got the cash to do such things. catch them on a tour, gonna give them the monies. So yeah, that was good. Thank you very much, nerds. If you like these reactions, more reactions will be coming eventually, as well as once a week we do a news show round about these parts where we talk about, music like this and the things around it, but also comic books and video games and rumors around all of the things as well. So check that out every Wednesday right here on Generally Nerdy. Getting back into the regular season for that, and that's the only things I needed to let you know. So thank you very much, nerds. Subscribe to the things. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, probably here.